So for today's demonstration, I have taken the topic of polymorphism from Java. Now let's understanding the term polymorphism first. So the polymorphism, poly means many, morph it means like forms. So many forms. The general terming is means it's a many forms. Like what what here meaning refer what here it refers to many forms. Now here, an entity can exist in many different forms. That is what actually we are referring to polymorphism. Now, when I say entity, what can be an entity? Suppose, say for example, now a student, okay, he's inside the class, he is a student. When he come out of the class and he go home, he is a son to his parents. Correct. When he goes now when an employee, when he is in the bank employee, when he is inside the bank, he is a manager or he is a clerk employee, clerk. But when he come out of the bank, he is a normal public person. So that person is acting as a common person and acting as a general manager inside the bank. So one common entity acting in two different forms. So that we can say we can relate that into the polymorphism. That is what, and because a single entity can act it in different forms. Next, here in another example, what I have mentioned in this presentation is like and shape. A shape can be a circle, a shape can be a triangle, a shape can be a square, shape can be a rectangle. So a single object can be represented in many different forms. Now, this is what polymorphism. Now we have a clear understanding what polymorphism is, which is an entity can exist in more than one form. That is polymorphism. Now, how can we implement this polymorphic behavior in Java programming? For which we have two approaches. By these two approaches, we are achieving this polymorphism. What are those approaches? One is method overloading and method overriding. Let's see each in detail. Now let's try to understand what is all about method overloading. Overloading method, yes, we all know it's a method which will do some certain functionality. Now we are overloading the same method. Okay, when I say overloading, say in a class there is a method. The same method is being overloaded. How I can overload? By changing the number of arguments, we can overload the method. We are referring to overloading. And if we change the data return type of the method, we refer to that also as a overloading. So like we have a method, okay, in a class. Now that method will perform some activity. So by taking two parameters, say for example, we have an add method that will add two integers. Now in the same class, suppose if you want to perform three addition. So what we are doing, we are overloading the same method. Instead of two parameters, by this time we are adding with take three parameters, three integer parameters. So this method names are same. Add is a method name and again add is a method name. But before previously it is two parameter, now it is three parameters. Now that we call it as overloading. Now we'll have a better understanding. For better understanding, now I'll take another scenario. Let me first share my screen. I'll take you on a scenario here. Uh, okay, I'll take a Java no, we'll yes. I'll take a banking scenario. Now, I have a class called a bank. Okay, I have a class called bank. Here, I have a method called, say, deposit. It's a functionality in the bank. Deposit is a functionality in the method in the bank. So I take this deposit. So suppose here, I'll take a parameter. I'm depositing some amount. say some default account I have it, so that I'm not mentioning the account number. Okay. Now in the same class, I have a method of same name. This time I'm overloading this method. Return type I'm not changing. Okay. I'm overloading the same method by taking two parameters. This time I'm transferring amount to my some other account. Okay. Say my friend's account. Account number also I'm adding. Now, now this amount is deposited to the friend's account, to my friend's account. So a class, in the class, there's a functionality bank. One of the functionality of bank is deposit. Now the method deposit method is overloaded. Will now create the object of this method, bank object. Yeah. Now I'm calling the method. Say suppose I am calling the method with one parameter here. If I see I calling the if I calling the method with one parameter with the method with execute. So this method is executed. Method with one parameter because that I have called. Now if I'm calling the method with two parameters, and now let us check. Now let us check the method with two parameters called. This method we have called, so that method is not executed. So here the deposit is a one method, but that exists in two different forms, one with one parameter, another with two parameter. Now this we can call as a polymorphic behavior. Hence, we are achieving polymorphism. One of the way to achieve polymorphism is method overloading. Now, we'll see the another method and we'll have the demonstration with the same use case. Now, what we are where we have stopped at method overloading, correct? Now here in this method overloading, we call it as compile time polymorphism. Okay. The reason behind is like at the compile time, the JVM came to know which method to execute. Whether we have two methods, correct? Deposit method, which method to execute based on the number of parameters I have defined. So JVM compiler, if there is a two parameter, then two parameter method has to call. So that has been decided at the run. That is decided at the compile time itself by the JVM. Hence we call it as compile time polymorphism, and that is also called as here early binding we call it as. Okay, or static binding or static polymorphism or compile time polymorphism, all things refer to the same. So this is what you have to remember with respect to method overloading. So when I say method overloading, we are the terms are early binding, static polymorphism, compile time polymorphism, all things are static binding, all things are refers to method overloading. Okay, these things we can achieve through method overloading. Now the simple example I have mentioned here, and we have see the demonstration with the real-time scenario called banking application. Now the second way of achieving polymorphism is with method overriding. Now let us try to understand how we understand about overloading. The same way we try to understand about overriding. Override. We came to know about the general meaning of this term called override. Like we will be replacing one functionality. That is one functionality is existing. We are override that. On top of that, we remove that and we'll write some our own functionality. That is a method which will do its own functionality. Now, for the sake of our purpose, what we are doing, we are overriding that functionality and writing our own functionality, that is overriding. Now, where should I override this one? Overload where I did in the same class. There are methods. Now here where I will do override, when I say override, the inheritance comes in. Like you are overriding the method from the parent class to the child class, which means an inheritance exists, single inheritance exists. It's not single inheritance. Of course, for method overriding to be done, you need inheritance, which means there is a method already defined in the parent class. Now you want the method that you can use it from the parent class, and you can rewrite that functionality as what you did. Like, say for example, father, son. Father and son also have the same functionality. But father will do it in some way, where son will do it in some way, correct? Father will also earn money, the son will also earn money. Earn money is a functionality for both father and son, where the way the father earns is different, the way the son earns is different. Definitely not the same. Maybe father is a bank employee, whereas son is a doing business, or son is an IT employee. Yeah, so earning money is common for both father and son. How the father is earning and how the son is earning is different. So in the parent class, you have earn money method that is being overriding into your own way. That is your own implementation, how you are earning money. So that is overriding. Okay, writing our own implementation from the parent class, we call it as overriding. Now let us try with the same banking application. Let us try understanding how this overriding works. Or say uh, now calculating interest is a method. Say suppose for general account we have a balance. For the balance amount what we have, we can calculate the interest. So for a general account, maybe a basic account, the rate of interest is 3%. When I say 3%, it is 0.03 by 100, 0.03. Yeah. So return time we can have it as double. So again, double. Or balance into this 3% of interest. Now this is a parent class, correct? Now we have another class called savings account. Extends extends bank, not bank, say bank account we can have. Okay, extends bank account. Again, now here we are overriding because the rate of interest for general account and for savings account is different. So again, I just copy paste this. Here it is maybe 5%. Yeah. Now we have another class, say, because there are many accounts, savings account, current account, and FD account. We have FD account, say. Again, extends bank account. Now, Bank account is the class. Creating object for the class bank account. Now, hmm, we dot, you have a balance value, right? This balance. You get the balance. Say, suppose the balance is 10,000 rupees. Now calculate the interest. Calculate the interest, I'm calling. And will print this. Now the same way we can have it for savings account and fixed account. Say 5,000. This is savings bank accounts interest. And we have FD account. Yes. Now if we check, sorry, here it is not closed. Yes. So if we check like this is what. So calculate interest exists in different forms because one with 0.3%, one with 0.5%, and another one with 0.7%. Again, the calculate interest method that comes with the three different forms. Again, it is a polymorphic behavior. So what is the conclusion? One to have the one object to comes with different entity, different forms, we call it as polymorphism. So that polymorphism in Java, we are achieving it by method overloading and method overriding. That is what we are come to the conclusion. Thank you so much.